I'm a parent. Unless you're already a parent. All right, I'll call this meeting of the Snellville, work session of the Snellville Mayor and Council to order. It is 6:40.
38.
6:38. And first of all, we'll review correspondence. Do you have any correspondence, sir?
I do, from Randy Meacham with the Gwinnett Municipal Association.
Number one.
Yes.
He basically says, everybody is on board with selecting separate Citizen Splosh Committee representatives for both Grayson and Snellville. I think this is a great opportunity to have both cities represented going forward. When we talked, you mentioned that you'd be able to make a Snellville appointment, but I did not know that they would be needed so soon. Susan Paul asked me today about the Snellville representative and wants to be sure they are invited to attend the Splosh update meeting on June 7th at 3:30. When you are ready, would you please forward the Snellville citizen contact information to Susan Paul? Thank you, Randy Meacham. I think at the last meeting, we discussed the odd thing that we were asked to do, appoint a Grayson representative to this committee. So the discussion continued in that area, and Randy got through to the county folks, and so we have our own representative now. Grayson will be appointing theirs, we can appoint ours. This is to the county's Splosh Citizen Review Committee.
Now, I have someone that I'd like to recommend, but they're in this room and I have not asked them yet. So I will ask them after the work session and have a recommendation at a nomination at the public hearing and ask for, I don't think it's any problem with, I'll talk to each one of you before I bring it up at the public hearing. Fair enough?
Do we have that on the agenda?
We do not. It will have to be an addendum. But since that first meeting is June 7th, we're not going to have another meeting
We have to
before
do
then.
it.
So we really do need to make that appointment today.
We didn't get this until late Friday.
So maybe when we review the agenda,
Item number one.
we can talk about amending the agenda for that.
Well, I haven't talked to the person.
I understand.
Oh, you have someone you want to?
No.
I guess I don't understand your.
She wants to amend the agenda.
Oh, sure. Please, by all means.
No, I'm just saying, when we get to go through the regular meeting agenda
I'll make a motion.
during our work session,
Yeah.
then we can talk about when we want to do that.
How was your vacation?
Item number
Why
one.
aren't you still
It
there?
was very nice, and I'm very well rested, thank you.
Did you miss us?
He's going down.
We did not miss you. Okay, anybody got anything on the regular meeting agenda that they'd like to discuss?
Oh,
Ms. Bender?
are we on the agenda now?
When are we gonna, that needs to go under new business?
There's no problem with it.
We'll do that under,
Even, Melissa even gave me a thing with blocks, but she didn't give me a crayon, you know? A crayon, you can mark them.
I might have some.
yeah, I'm sure Christie's got something in her bag.
I probably do.
Are we gonna
Okay.
put that nomination under new business then?
Yes, we will.
Under F for new business.
Under
Yeah.
your youth commission report person is gonna be Isabel Williams. If you want
Do I
her.
have,
Under 7D. So you can say
give
her
me the name
name.
again, please?
Isabel Williams.
Okay,
She's beautiful.
all right. Anything else on there that anybody wants to discuss? Has everybody had a chance to look over the resolution for signage policy? Is everybody okay with that?
What about item A under new business?
We're gonna have that. However,
I heard it was.
it's going to be Lilburn, not Lawrenceville.
Oh,
Yes. There was a change.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was going to be taken off and moved.
No, we
have to
are you
amend
okay
for
with
this.
it? Are we okay with approving it tonight, or we need to
I
hold
would
up?
hold it, I would table that
Okay,
again.
yeah, okay, let's table it then, all right. But there will be a change from
What-
going forward from.
What happened with
Lawrenceville to
that?
Lilburn.
The appointment.
Lawrenceville City Council members are obstinate.
Yeah, a little bit of tension over City Attorney Powell and Councilmember Powell, which was a little unexpected. So the convincing them that the issue didn't have a cost factor in it became a little bit difficult. And so it got tabled again, and so I contacted the Lilburn folks, and they seemed to think they sort of
They
saw
see
it
it.
as what it really
Yeah,
is,
they get
which
it.
is just a mutual cooperation, no cost involved. And so it just seemed easier to me to deal with somebody that didn't have that relationship that was blocking their way through, so.
Okay.
Okay, again, the signage, no one has a problem with that. Any of the other business?
The sign resolution, basically, I just took our discussion from last time and tried to enumerate those, so I hope that's okay.
Okay.
City Attorney's report?
I have a need for executive session on 3 litigation matters. And I do have one just advisory on the fireworks ordinance. We were making some changes to that, and it's been brought to our attention that one of the code sections regarding temporary permits has had a glitch in it all along, where you define the nonprofit as being exempt by using the code section of the federal code for charitable institutions of 501c3. And there's an intent to modify that provision. I think it's been on an agenda before, and was talked about at the planning commission level this time about amending that exemption to add 501c6, so we don't have a glitch with stat. And so there was just a request that be amended in our action tonight. We are amending those code sections, but it was just above this provision number 11, and Marcy pointed out that this is something that's been sort of on the radar screen for a long time. So it's just making that consistent for sections 9.2, 9.7, and 9.9 to add the words "and section 501c6" to that exemption. So
And is that in the proposal that we
it
have?
is not in the proposal, so that would need to be just
Amendment.
amended as part of the
Part of
process.
and part of the motion.
Yeah, under temporary use permits.
Okay, so does somebody have that, or we just need to get that written, what it needs to say?
got it.
You got it, okay.
And that's,
That'll be
That's
under
not-
public hearing.
Item C.
See?
We good? Discussion items, sir?
I just want to say for the executive session, if you could add one property item.
Then I gotta read 2 of them. Can we do like in the courts where the thing comes up here on the screen and just reads out? No, you know. Okay. I'll know it by heart. Okay, one property. All right, I'm going, list, I don't have my list.
The town center working plan, the comprehensive update, we should have that to you shortly. We just got it late today, and we're kind of looking at that. We'll get that out to you. Joint city and county plans, I had a meeting with Precision Planning to make sure that they were proceeding on library work to keep up with the county's expectations of us. Make sure that's coordinated. Had a chance to talk to Commissioner Hunter the other night. We're just trying to keep that ongoing. Everything, of course, is going to depend on the county's list and this lost election. but we continue to push forward there. Town Center Public Relations. I don't think we could have done better PR-wise than the meeting that was held last week. And there is a committee meeting this week to kind of get everybody back together and discuss that. Public Relations, Broadcast and Video. I know we've started on our smaller focus items, department heads and whatnot. So Steve, and I didn't realize that Steve's dad was part of that company also, but they've been here. I don't know, Eric, when is the council scheduled there? Is everything done with the council?
Yes,
Okay.
we need to go. A
Okay.
video of Lisa, and then we'll have all the pictures and video that we need at this time.
Okay, all right. City compensation survey the results are included in the budget proposal. Website update, I know that it's still in progress.
Well, we have
moving
a
forward.
working model to look over, so we're gonna look over that, make any recommendations, and then I would imagine next week sometime.
Still good June, July start date?
Should be good, yeah. I assume,
We're
you see
still
any
looking
major
for a
problems?
June 14 start date.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's safe to say that we'll be able to preview that at the June 13th council meeting or work session?
Yes.
June 13th, okay.
Okay. Let's add that then to the, let's introduce it to the public then at the public hearing on June 13th. So let's put that on our agenda.
Mayor, would you like kind of an extended presentation during the work session, or just, how long would you like it to be? We can send it out
What's
to mayor
what's the
and
council,
council.
what does council think about that?
We can send it out to all of you to preview prior, so we don't need to take meeting
Yeah,
time.
rather do
if
that.
That would work.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably
And then
better.
just, I don't see doing it here and then doing it again at the public hearing.
No.
I think we'd all like to see it, but then
Yeah.
just plan on doing it at the public hearing. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
The legal process continues for the tree replacement at DDR. There is a joint meeting this week, I guess, with their legal representatives, where we'll know a little bit more about their position.
And the hearing is just set for June 8th. I mean, it's right on top of it, so attempt to resolve it.
So if you don't resolve it,
Okay, back on.
The town hall meetings, first meeting held, I hope we continue those, whether it's 3 times a year. It's just, I'm sure another subject matter will come up that we need to discuss with the community, and I thought we,
I think Bobby came up with a very good suggestion that the next meeting, we include the results from the first meeting. So I think we need to go ahead and set a date for that. I think we could probably do it on the results of the town center and maybe extended conversations about the CFI. I think that would keep the interest up, keep the people coming.
and I think
What are your all
there's still a lot of
thoughts?
people don't understand how the CFI is gonna work. So I think
We'll have,
if we can get a good model,
Well, you're not
State,
gonna
we
can't
could-
get a good model because there isn't a good model.
The website that, on the DDA, the links that should be there have everything we need. And for some reason, Eric, I don't know,
Our
Buddy.
buddies took on it.
Okay, so if we can get the word out about that link, then many people will have their questions answered.
I still think we need somebody there from the state
Yeah.
to answer questions.
Yeah, that'd be
And
very
I
good.
don't, I think it's a good idea, because there are a lot of people that still think a roundabout's coming there or something, but, I guess my only
Well, that
concern.
would be you.
I don't think it.
It's a bend about.
My concern is that we get too many people, like we had a few at the town hall meeting, that want to talk specifically about their property and what's going to happen to their property, or their, their negotiations with the DOT that we can't talk about.
Well, you know what though, in all honesty, I thought Eric did a good job on that. One guy I think rambled a little bit before, but Eric did take control. And now I don't think the second time you'd have as much problem doing that, Eric. And I think, I think everyone would understand, we're not here to talk about one particular person. We understand, please get with Eric and
Right.
let Eric do that.
We just need to make sure we set that expectation up front that
Yes.
Right. and
just
then
because of the way the
enforce it.
legal process
Right.
of the negotiations and the right-of-way acquisition, that we can't get involved and figure out, you
And we
know.
don't, we have nothing to do with it anyway.
Right,
We can only, our discussions, I think, should be about what we're left with. And what we're gonna do with what we're left with.
yeah.
And what we're
You know,
trying to.
and maybe we should have, we should have some illustrations that, for that show what we're doing with
The signs.
Yeah, we can have
the
that.
sign and the.
Signal bridge.
And what's left on each side of that intersection, you know, where you're gonna have the retention pond and stuff. Maybe show some of that,
Landscape
so.
media.
Right. Show something so we can show a finished project, or finished.
We should have a intergovernmental agreement from the state DOT by then.
And I
Hopefully
think it
it'll be
would be
on-
great to have someone from the state at the meeting.
I think it's absolutely mandatory. Yeah.
So why don't we, if we're gonna do that, then we need to set a date so that we can get a commitment
Yeah.
from them.
You want me to talk with them and see,
Yeah,
we're
get
looking
a
at
date from them.
July?
July,
Yeah,
August.
yeah, maybe even, let's see.
Yeah,
We did it in
July's
May.
big vacation time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, August, everybody's back
Yeah.
in school.
August when school starts back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
late
Yeah.
August.
And was it May, we did the one in May, right? So that's June, July, August, 3 months. Then maybe do another one in November.
I'll check with DOT.
But I agree, I
And
don't
I'm-
think we could have gotten any more information than we got. How many surveys have we had filled out
We
since?
had 156 paper surveys filled out and 230 online surveys filled out.
Very good.
And there's a little tiny bit of summary in front of you.
Yeah, I saw that. Any more discussion on that?
The Citizen Academy, we'll talk about the agenda at the June 13th meeting. Sign ordinance update, the resolution is on the agenda tonight. Baker's Rock Tour is at 10 o'clock in the morning. Should be good weather. Hopefully we have good weather all week, including Saturday. Teacher internship program yet to be determined. The UDO, I'm glad Caleb Rossico came the other night. I think he made a couple of cogent points, and he is still putting his, quantifying all his input. It should be, we should be ready for a meeting probably in a couple of weeks. I'll let everybody know about that. Charter Review Committee had the initial meeting on the 19th. By all accounts, it went very well. Made probably more progress than you thought you would.
Did.
Good input, and I'm glad to hear that.
Really good group of people. They're, dedicated, really good input all around. And so I think you'll get a good set of recommendations coming from them.
Yeah.
If you ever get the chance to stop in, it was educational and a little humorous, hearing some of Mayor Clower's stories along the way about those issues. So it was very congenial meeting too.
eBay sales, ongoing.
Would it be okay if we get kind of an update? And maybe it doesn't need to be every 2 weeks, but monthly at least,
You
kind of
bet,
see where we are, what's been sold and what money's been generated and things like that.
you bet.
And I think once a month is fine for that, so just pick one of the meetings and decide it's gonna be that one.
Well, it'll be the 13th of June, because it's the only meeting in June, so.
Okay.
Well, we do it the
I
first
think
meeting
you got
of
a
the month.
number last time, about $8,500 worth.
Yeah, I
so,
think that
But
number's,
we just
crept up pretty
set it
high.
as the first meeting of the month, and then.
yeah, that's fine.
And we're there.
Good deal. Fireworks, we're ready to adopt tonight, I think, with a small change. Senior Center R&D, I attached the Oak Road Neighborhood Park there. The new rec consultant is working on a design. They'll be surveying probably this week And when they get that, get a pretty good rendering, a pretty good idea together, we'll get the group back and you'll have a chance to review that. And the next step probably needs to be a neighborhood meeting where
So
we
did
go
they-
over everything.
Take away the recommendations of taking away the parking lot stuff and adding trail? They did that
Yes.
stuff? Okay.
They,
And by approximately when do you think? Is it like a month type thing or 2 month thing or like?
I would think, after that survey, it's gonna go probably 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go pretty fast. They've got a lot of people assigned to it. Roundabout construction, had a meeting, that Jason attended with the Gwinnett DOT. Optional lighting cost is gonna be about $30,000 to $40,000 per intersection. I'm going back and looking at the overall budget to see what we can afford there. We just need to continue that discussion.
What is that optional lighting? What exactly?
It's, instead of Cobra Head streetlights, it's the Acorn underground type lighting for the, Barbara, we're talking about making this residential. And that's the reason, so I'm gonna try to stretch to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's very important.
The same lights that you see on the 78 court, the Granville, they have some street lights too, but they're, more decorative. Plus it's the same lights they're gonna use the Park Place development too.
Oh, okay.
With
So it'll be
high-end
continuity down through there.
Yeah, I think that's important. FY17 SPOS planning, we are putting together, what they've asked for are just percentages in different categories. I will send, I'll get something to you tomorrow showing where, it's preliminary, but they have given us some numbers, which I don't think there's any way they can meet these numbers, but we're going to use those for the preliminary percentages, and I'll get those to you for your input over the next couple weeks. I need to speak back with everybody. We're just trying to get this out and prepare for our June 7th meeting with the county.
Yeah, because we need to, can we do some kind of work session or something where we can all sit down and kind of talk
Absolutely
about
fine.
projects?
It'd be,
Because we need to know what would be next up on the parks and
When you
rec
wanna do
and,
yeah.
Break out a calendar.
and what kind of road projects and everything we need to have done.
Well, we have 2 weeks. You have the 7th is when you gotta do it, right?
Yeah.
So you got, what, 20 days?
Well, is the 7th lock us in, or is that just kind of a preliminary list?
It's-
Can
it's-
We need to give them percentages on the 7th.
Can we refine it after we?
We could probably refine individual projects.
Well,
I'm trying to
do-
find, but your percentages, I think, are gonna be locked in on.
Yeah.
Am I
The
right?
7th is the meeting. The percentages need to go to, Gwinnett Municipal would like those by the 1st.
Okay, so we got, look at between now and June 1st.
If we
And
could,
didn't we assign percentages for this last loss?
Tuesday, the
we
31st.
did,
Yeah.
last SPOS, we had to have a high transportation.
Right.
And they're still looking for a
But
high
it was
number.
still
and I-
percentages though, right? Wasn't
What's
it?
that?
It was still percentages.
It was,
right?
it was. And I will explain where I've come from here on these numbers, but it's,
So let's just get,
it's not gonna be as high on transportation as it was last time. And I've told them that. There's just no way with a town center and a rec facility that we're looking at, transportation isn't gonna be that high.
Well, what about if we gotta do it, send them something by June 1st? I mean, really, we've got Thursday night or next Tuesday. Or tomorrow night.
I'm good, and either, well, I'm not
Or not-
tomorrow night.
not tomorrow
Well,
night.
we can't do it
Um,
tomorrow night, it's not enough time for advertising. Can't do
None of
that.
that's
The
election.
day after
Do
Memorial
the
Day?
31st.
31st, yeah.
Yeah,
Tuesday, next
Tuesday the
Tuesday night,
31st, yeah.
Tuesday, 31st.
6:30?
and that would just be a work session. right?
Yep.
Good.
And the only thing on the work session will be to discuss SPOS.
Correct.
All I can think
Discuss
is
SPOS.
no school, no
Yeah.
school.
Kind of what I'm thinking, just.
Yeah, leave it blank, leave it open like that. Okay, we'll do that, then we'll meet next Tuesday for that.
I'll be here. That's pretty much what happened during Christmas break.
Next,
The Oak Road sidewalk work has begun. They've made good progress so far. The rain kind of stopped them. They're bringing in dirt. I kept up conversations with the property owners I don't know if y'all have heard anything at all. There are some traffic issues with one lane. You know, when they haul in dirt, they've got to go down to one lane.
there's
Gonna be
nothing you can do
traffic
about
issues,
that.
yeah.
Fortunately, school will be out, I think, on Wednesday, and so bus traffic will be better, and that's
Sorry.
so we're just gonna keep pushing on that, and that's why it's so important that the park move. So we're very close to opening both at the same time, and the CFI project. In speaking to Scott Shelton, the engineer on the job, we should have DOT, we have a new project manager, but we should have that intergovernmental agreement. And right away, it's still going on. Construction is still planned for FY17. So
And
that's,
this is a small thing, and it may not make any difference, but we continue to call it CFI.
I know.
Georgia
I'm
Department
just
of
trying to do
Transportation,
something that's.
Everybody's calling it something else, and I just think
DLT.
we need to start using that nomenclature with what we're calling it, so that it doesn't
And what would that
become
be?
more.
It's a displaced left turn lane.
That makes it much clearer.
Yeah, just, well, you
A
know.
DLT.
DOT's gonna talk.
Like a BLT, but with a
I
D,
know.
huh?
Yeah.
DLT.
Everybody will think
I
we're.
just didn't want to confuse anybody.
You know,
I
so.
stay confused about that thing.
I know.
Place to reverse it, it's D,
I know, I know a
DTL.
handful.
We have McDeal.
Okay, then you added, did you add residential?
We're gonna add the line item residential annexation. We'll put that down there and,
We're adding that to our list, okay? Okay, I called you all over the weekend, and left you a message or spoke to you about stormwater. I know that Butch is gonna show us some slides at the hearing, but have any, the public hearing tonight, but have any of you given any of that some thought? I know the couple of you talked to Butch today about it. Here's where we're at. Give you a synopsis for Christie and Roger's benefit, more so than the rest of us, is when SPOS was when stormwater was originally passed, I was not on council, but Barbara was. And at that point, it was passed at $37.50 per household. If
It was-
I'm wrong, you straight. you
It was by
correct me.
units, the type of, like the unit, which was, I don't know how much that was, like the units of impervious surface at your businesses, so rooftops, thing,
How
and
about
everything.
residential?
And
Same?
residential was the same, it was all measured, and then, it was a per unit. So whatever the unit was, it was $3.10 per unit that was charged.
Okay,
Three
so,
tiers in residential, 33, 37, I think, and there was 1, 2, or 3, and then a commercial was based on per unit because there was more, but it was a graduated tier for low.
but the average, I think my house, I kind
37.50 is in the middle,
of, okay, I'm in the middle, I guess.
39, 37, and 33, I think,
Okay,
are the 3
all right.
months for residential.
Well, anyway, the money was only used for capital projects.
Correct.
And then, but all the maintenance items for stormwater and all, like, the use, well, the digging, anything that they did was charged back to Public Works, okay? We ended up with a lot of money in the stormwater fund, and Public Works was straining to meet their budget because all the stormwater stuff was being billed against their department, okay? In 2012, 2013, when we did the budget, we said, wait a minute, if the Public Works is working on stormwater projects, then that needs to be charged back to stormwater, not taken out of general fund.
And at that
Okay?
point, I think the balance in stormwater was over $1 million.
It was over $1 million. So, and homeowners rightfully were saying, you know, you got this $1 million sitting there, you know, and
And I got a
why are
drainage
you still,
problem.
yeah, and you're still charging me, okay? So we decided that we changed it so that which rightfully so, if you're working on stormwater, that gets charged as stormwater. If you're working for Public Works, it's charged as Public Works. That, plus the fact that over the last couple of years, we've had a couple of emergencies, we've had a couple of big problems. If you notice on the last page of the budget that was sent out to you the other day, at the end of, if projections are correct, and they've been correct through 2016, if, at the end of 2017, that $1 million we started with will be down to $3,500.
In order to see
To me, that's critical.
doesn't exist. It does.
What I'm proposing is that we do a survey and find out where we stand with the other cities in Gwinnett on our stormwater. We're gonna do that tomorrow or the next day. We're just gonna call all the cities and find out what they charge for stormwater, find out where we're at. I think we're gonna have to have an increase. I think that's, I don't know how much. I don't know, don't know much more about it except the fact that we're gonna find out where we are with all the other cities, okay? And then figure out what we've gotta do, because we can't let stormwater get down to nothing, because, again, luckily, when we had these emergencies over the last couple of years, we had that $1 million sitting there. Well, it's gone. We used it, or we're getting ready to finish off using it. So we need to at least raise the stormwater so we can at least cover what we've gotta do. Because, as you'll see tonight, we have like one street over in Summit Chase that one lane that's completely closed. Because there's a
Collapsed pipe.
collapsed pipe under the street, they
Where's that?
can't do it, Matthews Lane.
Did that just happen?
So,
Happened last week.
I guess, wanna open it for discussion, of what y'all think about it. No one likes to increase any kind of fee. By the same token, if we gotta deliver the services to the citizens, this area is critical, and it's not like we have done good things the last 4 years, and we're gonna continue to do good things with that. It's gonna have to be subsidized somehow.
Okay, if I could, Butch, if you'll turn to that FY17 stormwater review sheet and help me follow through exactly each line and how it relates. Okay, because the way I'm seeing it, it may not be correct.
When the audit was completed, the last audit, the 6/30/15 audit, we had $567,000 in cash on hand.
Okay.
Reserve.
Okay, so that is still there.
No.
Okay, so that's what's
That was
confusing
at
about this.
6/30/15.
Okay, that was on 6/30/15. Cash on hand today is
We've
what?
gone through what, 11 months of 10 months of this fiscal year? So that's why the F16 projected is in there. We're projecting 530,000 in revenue, projecting expenditures of 700,000, which is a $170,000 loss.
Okay, so.
So you take that off the 567.
That leaves you at 400,
And that'll be
roughly.
the cash.
So when what we're proposing in 17,
That's good.
the revenue based on our
Right.
current rates, right at $535,000. Expenditures, given operating costs and projects that we have in the pipeline, plus the average of the emergency projects we've had the last 3 years, is the $928,000, which is almost a $400,000 hit to what was our reserve fund, which brings it down to $3,500. The $928,000 is a projection.
Okay.
The FY16, that's where we're gonna be.
So the cash on hand right now for stormwater is what?
Cash on hand, take about 400,000.
Okay, so 400K, it's just not represented on here, and you gotta dig through it, come on.
Right, you gotta put it right
Right,
there.
yeah, it needs to be
Because they're
some.
government people and they think differently than we do.
I'm sorry. I thought y'all connected the dots better.
Well, and.
What's your
and-
point? Bubba, we connected them.
I connected them is why I'm asking the question,
I'm glad.
just so you know.
That's why it's on there.
So when I
Because
don't.
we've done this
when I
every
don't-
year.
When I don't see this, you know, I tend to wonder,
Yeah.
you know.
Can you, for the expenditures, do we have a breakdown of how much is actually like project cost versus stormwater maintenance and salaries and operating?
Oh, yeah, it's in your budget.
Okay.
Go
So
to
you-
page,
It's capital versus.
So in FY17, we're
Okay.
expected a $228,000 increase in our expenditures for stormwater repair.
go to,
And that is.
go to page 57 in your budget.
Which, is that? in other
You're
words,
challenging me,
is that
Butch.
Three projects?
Find my
Or is
budget
it two
after.
projects, or is that something that we are already aware of?
They
Oh,
sometimes
yeah,
leave
we've
home
got a
without it.
list that can go on for days, but
Right.
we have to just do so many a year.
Right.
So,
57.
you know, I think the last three or four.
There's $6 million.
Okay.
Look
but-
at that, I
but
have it right here.
How we jumped from
Oh,
7
no,
to
that's my church
928.
budget.
You can see the
What
expenditures for the summer.
you gotta do these.
looks better than ours.
Oh, yeah. Not really, but.
Collapse, People's
Okay.
yards are falling,
Okay,
things like that.
okay. And those are the kind of things that I would wanna see kind of broke out, that these are
It's all in
non-expected.
well, it's in capital, that's
Yeah.
where we've
I'll have to
budgeted
find
that,
it.
but we will fall short based on our emergency project.
When we check what other cities are charging for stormwater, I'm guessing we will also ask them what the formula they use for that
How
determination.
to get to that figure, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to have both components to understand what their number means.
Most use that square footage. Even the county for residential, they hit you for every square foot, and I pay
Right.
that every year, so most don't use that tiered system in residential.
Okay.
And then commercial's all done by square foot, because of
Right.
the parking lots.
And that's just from rooftop shot?
Yeah, we take, here we take the aerials that they
Right.
process and they run in February. They get processed the following August, and then we add any new buildings and stuff we have, and then residential is really negative.
Well, Promenade's a prime example.
It won't come on for 2 years because we're a year behind on the photos.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm just saying, that's
That's a
one
big
of the
one.
prime examples that,
Probably 30 grand.
yeah, yeah, so.
20, 30, depends on all that footprint.
At this point, I think we need to get this survey completed. And, maybe for the sake of expediency, we'll also put the results of that survey on the work session on June 1st. So we'll, 31st rather, so we'll have those figures and those numbers and perhaps make a recommendation for June 13th.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay? Then there'll be no reason to discuss it at the public hearing tonight. We will just talk about it again on the 31st at the work session, and then we'll present it publicly on June 13th at the regular meeting.
You don't need to present anything tonight on that?
I don't think, if if you want to, you do have a presentation prepared, am I right?
Just a short PowerPoint.
Why don't you show, just so the citizens see what we're up against and why we're discussing it. How's that? Okay?
Are we at 6:30 on the 31st?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have enough time in 15 minutes? We do not have enough time. We do not have enough time for the exec session, so we're gonna have to do that after the meeting. I don't anticipate, never mind. I was gonna say, talk about the length of the meeting, but I decided not to.
Thank you. Do we have extra time? Is there anything else?
Yes, we have extra time right now, yes. Anything else?
Do you talk about this for a minute?
Go ahead, Eric, the 13th.
There's 4 pieces of paper, divided into 2 groups of 2. So the first 2 pieces of paper address the paper survey, and the second 2 pieces of paper address the online survey. We only asked a few questions that were, let's say, analyzable. That was the third one was the key one, and then the kind of the time. So what this shows is the third and the fourth questions with what's called a crosstab. So I analyze it against the age of the responder, which we had from question 1. So let me make one other comment, and then we can go over them if you have questions. But the paper survey allowed for multiple responses to question 3. So the person could choose housing and
Restaurants.
so they could choose more than one answer. I did not learn until it was up that the actual online survey only allowed one answer in that category. So that's why they look a little different. On the back, the second 2 sheets, which is the online survey, you'll see the responses aren't quite as spread out because they could answer one. There wasn't all of the above question, that's what the light gray line is. So they could answer that, but if they answered something else, they couldn't answer that one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what you see. So question 3 was what types of businesses, and you see that broken out by age group. The thing I would just caution you about, for example, if you turn to the 3rd page, which is question 3 for the online data, you'll see that there's only one dark gray bar all the way across the top, so it looks like a big response. That's 100% of 1. So it's just one response. So that's why I included the little table down at the bottom. On each page you can see kind of how many responses were represented by each column. And for information purposes, we did ask some open-ended questions. Some of the kinds of stores people want to see is boutique stores, teenage stores and things aimed more for teenagers and young adults, senior housing, condominiums, an international market, lots of response for theater and the arts, bike lanes, pedestrian lanes, and my favorite 2 are a hookah store and a hypnotist store.
So you can get hooked on smoking and go to the hypnotist to break the habit.
Right,
He's
and then walk it
Tattoo. All we
off.
need to do is have a tattoo parlor while you do the other 2 and the trifecta.
You have to have piercings too.
So in general, that's what this data really is only looking at 2 questions, the businesses and how often would you visit, and that's broken down by the age of the respondent. And I think the how often would you visit in each one, just to add a little commentary, is really telling. A lot of people want to visit it every week, which is great for our town center because that's what it's going to take to support it.
Okay, anything else on that? Any other discussion? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
A question, or not question, but statement. Which for the parks, I spoke with some of the people that actually live on that street that butts up against the park or whatnot, the proposed park.
Yes.
If you can tell them something that differentiates between private and public property. So I don't know what that would be, but something. Because people are walking their dogs back there currently, they were talking about, and their dogs are going to their property and pooping everywhere. and
Okay,
stuff like
okay, all right. Good.
Okay, see you all in the,
I didn't know that.
that. Yeah.
I'll
and they
entertain a
didn't leave
motion.
them.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Happy
We're adjourned, we'll see you inside in 8 minutes.
8 minutes. That's a lifetime.